Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back. Today, I have more no contact success stories. Yes, the hits just keep on coming. I know these are helpful sometimes when my clients, they contact me and they have a lot of anxiety, they're freaking out, they want to reach out, they want to break no contact. I say go and listen to my no contact success stories because they are extremely helpful. But before I start, I want to tell you to be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And while you're at it, tap the bell icon so that you will be notified when a new video is up. So before I start, I want to read a comment that someone left on YouTube. I think it's a woman because the name is Kibby Lou. Don't think that's a guy's name, right? I don't know. Okay, so I think it's very intelligent. I wish I had said this, but instead I'm just going to read it. And she says, to me, the root of why the no contact rule is most effective is because what it requires of you is to not contact them. It's exactly what was missing prior to the breakup. A lack of excess neediness, an ability to stand alone, and to let them go if they so choose. The strength that it takes to give them space builds character, self-respect, and resolve. Those traits are exactly what was needed to rebuild the attraction. Agree, and this applies more to people who were needy. Not everyone is broken up with because they were needy. But if you were needy, then you especially need to do no contact. So let's go and let's get started. Okay, the first one says, I just wanted to say your videos helped me so much through a hard time. My boyfriend was going through a lot of personal issues and was getting lazy in our relationship. So he broke up with me. So he was getting lazy and he broke up with you. Interesting, okay. I was so hurt and lonely. I would watch your videos not to get my ex back per se, but more so to remind myself why contacting him was a bad idea. I didn't want to lose my self-respect for myself or his/anyone's respect for me if I kept reaching out to someone who said they didn't want me anymore. Perfect. You're such a strong and confident woman, and I wanted to be strong and confident too. So I knew I needed to keep my dignity and not talk to him unless he reached out. Everything you said worked. He was calling me constantly and I wasn't replying. He even asked me to go get food, but I refused because I thought he just wanted to catch up and make sure I was still there and then never talk to me again. Finally, he tracked me down in person and told me he missed me and was asking to get back together within a month of the breakup. He even told me he was so surprised I didn't contact him, and I know that made him realize I'm strong and a high-value person, making me more attractive to him. That's right. Now he's even more attentive and puts in even more effort into our relationship than before. We are back together and I'm still somewhat keeping my guard up because I don't want to get too comfortable in this relationship so soon after everything that happened. He still needs to prove himself to me. Right, so what you do in this case, you say to him, how are you going to make it up to me? How is he going to make it up to you, the fact that he broke up with you? So you don't just take someone back. They need to pay a price. They need to make it up to you, all right? The next one, which she's not quite finished. But I'm glad everything happened because now I have so much more confidence in myself and can't believe how strong I can be. All my friends were telling me they couldn't believe how much strength I had, and I really couldn't have done it without your encouragement. Well, we all have the strength. We just have to have the strength to tap into the strength, if that makes sense. We can all do it. Okay, the next one is a short one. And this person says, no contact worked. We're back together. Just after my breakup, I was looking for excuses to reach out to my ex, of course, after 30 days, because that's what other coaches tell you to do. Thankfully, on the second day of my breakup, I found your video. The 30-day no contact rule is BS. He contacted me on day 43. Well, thank God you waited, right? Actually, when I had a breakup a few years ago, I didn't know either. And so I was planning to contact my ex after 30 days, but luckily he reached out after 2 weeks. All right. The next one. When we met, he was the most adorable gentleman. Aren't they all in the beginning? He wanted to move in together and start a family almost right away. Well, that's a huge red flag. He included me in all his family and friends' events from the get-go. That's another red flag. Then he lost a job and things changed. He was moody, indifferent, and sometimes flat out mean. I had a business trip to Alaska and asked him to come with me. My boss would pay for everything but the plane ticket. After months of planning, 2 days before the trip, we were discussing trip insurance. He snapped and said he wasn't going. We broke up. 30 days later, the day after I arrived back, his father passed away. So I went to the funeral and we started seeing each other again. He said he didn't want a relationship but wanted to continue seeing me. We did it for a while. When we met, he would tell me, "You should go out and meet someone else." This was heart-wrenching to hear from a man that I loved. I got really depressed, would cry every day. I finally took courage and initiated no contact. Yes! I guess karma's a bitch, and it's his turn to feel like crap. He truly broke my heart, and I reacted like most women do. I tried to rationalize things with him. I cried. I begged him to reconsider and looked at all the good things that we had together. Well, it's not just women that behave like that. Actually, some men do too. Continuing on, nothing worked except no contact and moving on with my life. That's right. That's right. So stop doing all that stuff. It doesn't work. He reached out on day 49. Your system works better than anything else. Well, it's not a system, but okay. He says he had realized what he lost, that he loves me and would do anything to get back with me. He said he was sorry for hurting me and that he did it out of insecurity and low self-esteem. He felt he wasn't good enough to be with someone like me. He's doing therapy for that. Good. I believe him because I know how proud he is and how hard it must have been for him to admit all this to me. But now I'm not sure I want him back. Don't get me wrong, I still love him, but I love myself more and I deserve someone who would not hurt me the way he did. Well, I hope you guys resolve it. All right, I'll do a little short one here. It's been 4 months since we broke up. He finally contacted me yesterday after me blocking him on every social media account. I think he got anxious and finally decided to contact me. Thank you, Lucia. I wouldn't do it without believing in your words. You're welcome. So I hope these have been helpful. If you're thinking of breaking no contact, yes, most of these are from women, but don't think that only women get their exes back. It just seems that mainly women submit their stories, but that doesn't mean that men are not getting their exes back. So men, if you did no contact and you got your ex back, please submit. Prove my theory correct. All right. So if you're going through a breakup and you're thinking of reaching out to your ex, after listening to this, I'm sure you know it's not a good idea. So why don't you reach out to me instead to find out about a private coaching session so that I can help you get your ex back? And the direct link is below the video. Or you can sign up at theartoflove.net. And while you're there, you can also sign up for my free weekly newsletter. If you're listening on YouTube, remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.